one familiar face, and I could not for the life of me think of where I knew this girl at. Do you know my baby daddy? And in my head, I'm like, we be, I may or may not know you. Sharon tags me in a post and she said, and I don't know what you're over here liking because you too. You know, Janae DMs me and she's like, I want to fight. He was playing in my face and talking to all my friends. Win, lose, or draw, baby, we was finna fight. And in front of the car, linked on it like this. You never stopped me from fighting. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Day and thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If you are not, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat. All of that is in the description box below for your convenience. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what is you doing? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel now and become a day one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hitting me to 1,000 subscribers, and we're on the road to 1,200. 1,200? Yeah, 1,200. I was gonna say 15, but baby, I'm pushing it. Y'all like my hair? Do y'all like me better as a blonde or a semi-blonde, or do I look better with black hair? Let me know. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and hop right into the story, cut the chit chat. Okay, so today's story time is a story time that I already told when I first started my YouTube channel, when I was like lollygagging and not really posting, which I still kind of do. But if I'm not gonna post nothing, I'm gonna post me a YouTube shorts. So yeah, anyways, this is when I first started YouTube. I had told the story, and since then I had privated the video because it was very cringe. I had music playing in the background. The music was too loud, so it was overpowering what I was saying. What else? I said some cringy ass stuff, like little slogans like, y'all, I started off the video saying, this is your hostess with the mostest. Like, ew, that was so cringy. So I'm gonna go ahead and retell it because I did reference the story time on my TikTok. And so when people that came from my TikTok came and subscribed to my channel, they were like, where's that story time at? And I was like, not on my channel because it was cringy. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell that story. So let's start off with, this happened a couple years ago. Not a couple years ago, baby. This was like damn near a decade ago. If you didn't know, I am in the 30s club. So yeah, this happened like my early 20s or late teens, should I say. Yeah, it was late teens. So basically I had lived with my mom, obviously, and my mom had her neighbors. Clearly everybody has neighbors. What am I talking about? Anyways, my mom's neighbor happened to be this guy that I know. And so, well, I didn't know, but I'll get there. So this guy, and he had reached out to me on Facebook, and he was like, oh, hey, don't you live in the blah, blah, blah apartments? And I was like, yeah, I do. He was like, okay, me too. I think we live next door to each other. And so I was like, oh, okay. Like, I think I'll be seeing you now that I'm like going through your pictures and stuff. One thing led to another, and we exchanged numbers. So we started talking, and y'all, I have to say this part because it's gonna come up later on in the video anyways, and y'all gonna be like, wait, what? So I was dealing with my daughter's dad at the time, but as I tell more stories about this man, you will see that technically we're never in a relationship. This was just a situationship. I got pregnant, we had a child, we lived together on and off whenever he was in town and things like that. So it's, let me just say, we were not together or dealing with each other, no, none of that at the time. So me and the dude, we exchanged numbers, and that turned into like some type of situationship, not a relationship. We didn't hang out, no, none of that. It was just, why I do this like we scissoring? It was just we did the hooch cooch, okay? Do what grown folks do, and if you are a kid, you should not be watching this video. But anyways, so after we do, you know, whatever it is that we're doing, we continue with this ritual where we hook up with each other whenever we're bored. So jumping forward, I had this friend, and I'm gonna keep all the same names I did. So if you guys already seen this video, I'm sorry. I just had to redo it without it being so cringy. So I had this friend, and her name was, I was about to say her real name. Her name in the other story, now this story, was Big Booty Judy. So Judy had a son. Oh, bless me. Judy had a son. Her son was around the same age as my daughter. So what do you do when you have friends with the same age as your kids? When their birthday roll around, you invite them to their party. So she invited me to her birthday party, to her son's birthday party. And there she had, you know, all her friends with their kids and things like that. So I go, when we arrived to the party, I go and I sit down at a table with some girls that I already knew. There was this one familiar face sitting at the edge of the table, and I could not for the life of me think of where I knew this girl at, but she was there. So the girl, she's like kind of, I can catch her, like, you know how you look at somebody but then you don't want them to know you're looking at them? No, this girl was dead ass looking at me, and she was looking like she wanted me to look at her and say something to her. So I gave her like a little smile face, you know, the thing you do, the little, hey, how are you type smile. So eventually she started engaging in conversation with me. I forgot how she even engaged in that, but she started talking to me. So, you know, in the midst of us talking, laughing and stuff, she stopped and she asked me, she was like, don't you live in the blah 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 apartments? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so she's like, oh, okay, do you know my baby daddy? Girl, what? She's like, do you know my baby daddy? His name is blah blah blah. Oh, I forgot to name him in this story. In the other story, I named him Cheddar because I said he was a corny, cheesy ass nigga. But we just gonna name him Chester. Chester for Chester the Cheetah, because he's still very much corny. Anyways, so she was like, yeah, do you know my baby daddy? His name is Chester. And I'm like, I'm looking at her like, and in my head, I'm like, I know him very well. We be, but you know, I kept it cute. So I was just like, oh, yeah, I know Chester. Why? She was like, oh yeah, that's my baby daddy. Can I ask you a question? And I'm like, sure. She was like, do you be seeing his other baby mama? And let me go ahead and name both the baby mamas. The baby mama that I'm sitting there having a conversation with, her name is, what did I name her in another story? Oh, Sharon. I named her Sharon. I'm gonna keep that name. Sharon for Braceface. Y'all know that character? Cartoon, or am I too old? But anyways, I named her Sharon. And so she was asking me, did I know the other baby mama? And the other baby mama, I named her Janae, because she reminds me of Janae Aiko. So yeah, she was like, yeah, do you know his baby mama Janae? And I was like, She's like, yeah, he has a baby mama named Janae. And at this time, I did not know that he had another baby mama. I just knew of the original baby mama, and that's why it clicked to me. It clicked to me where I knew her from. So when she said that, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, that's where I knew her from. There was pictures like that he was tagged in from her page. Mind you, I had like half of the city of Stockton on my page, so I may or may not know you. I may or may not. It's still like that to this day. Like, I have so many people on my Facebook, and I promise you, these people be knowing me, and I don't be knowing them. I just be smelling. They be like, hey, tiny girl, or hey, Day, whichever name they give me. Hey, and I was just like, okay. But anyway, so back to the story. So she was like, yeah, he has, you know, a baby on the way, and it made sense. It clicked to me. A bitch is big. So then it started clicking to me. I'm like, oh my God, I do know that he has another baby mom. But okay, it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna be like, how do you know but you didn't know? Okay, so Chester had a roommate, and baby, I have stories about this roommate too. But Chester had this roommate, and I'm just assuming that when I was seeing this pregnant girl go up the stage, when I was seeing this pregnant girl go up the stairs all the time, I was just assuming that it was for the roommate. I don't be in people's business. So yeah, I was just assuming it was for the roommate. So it just like everything started adding up. Yeah, so the calculator started rolling around. Everything was adding up, clicking up. And I was just like, it's too much for me. So after she said that, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know her. I just stopped talking to her, because one thing about me is, though I don't know this girl, I owe her no loyalty, I'm not finna be sitting up talking and smelling in your face. That's weird. That's weird to me, and I hate when people used to do that to me. Bitches used to be doing that to me. But anyway, so, I got like 10 minutes, and this is not a long story at all, so let me keep it up. So fast forward, I'm on Facebook just minding my business, scrolling, doing what I do, and I happen to come across a post, and on this post it is Sharon and Janae arguing, the dude Chester's big mamas. They're going back and forth about this man, how they're dealing with him and things like that. And at this point, this was either before or after this video right here. I'm gonna put an NQ card because that's the story time. I think this was right before this situation happened, because I stopped dealing with him after that situation happened. So yeah, they were arguing, they were going back and forth, and stuff like that. And like, I'm just being nosy reading the comments, but me being high and just scrolling and just scrolling, being nosy, I accidentally liked one of the comments. And one of the comments I accidentally liked was on Sharon's comment. So the next thing you know, Sharon tags me in a post, and she said, and I don't know what you're over here liking, because you too. So I'm like, you too? And she's like, yeah, you're weird too, because you're dealing with him too. Mind you, I was already done dealing with him, but yeah, I was done dealing with him and back with my baby daddy. So I just like get out the post. I'm like, let me get out the post. Let me not argue. And like back then, that was in my arguing era. I was just like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm trying to be the bigger person. So then after she said that, I just sent question marks, and then I was like, let me get out this post. Mind you, this is during my argument era. I'm proud of myself for that moment. But anyways, so she responds back, and she's like, yeah, you're not safe. I see you in his phone, in his DMs, and blah, 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 going in on me. She was going in on me like she was going in on Janae. So next thing you know, Janae DMs me, and she's like, I want to fight. What? Now you want to fight me? Y'all, it was like I couldn't win for losing. I'm arguing with this baby mama. Well, she arguing with herself, because at this point I wasn't responding. And then you gonna come DM me and say you want to fight? All right. So after Sharon goes in on me, I just respond back with a crying, laughing face. I'm like, girl, I'm not finna argue with you about a man I'm not even dealing with no more. And she was like, no, I want to fight you because you were smiling in my face at that birthday party knowing you was messing with my baby daddy. First of all, I was smiling in your face, and I never engaged in a conversation with you. You engaged in a conversation with me, and I answered your questions, and then I left it alone. Let's start there. But whatever. Back to Janae. Meanwhile, Janae's over here DMing me like, yeah, you can come outside because I want to fight you. And I'm like, what do you want to fight me for? And so I guess she felt like, mind you, I have both of these girls on Facebook. She just felt like she wanted to fight me because I guess at this point they are in a relationship, and Sharon had fed her information about text messages, but there was no dates and times on them. So I'm guessing Janae was assuming that this was during their little situationship, and it wasn't. So yeah. So I'm like, you know what, we could fight, but like, I'm fighting on this nigga. Let's make that clear. And so Janae, a couple days passed by, and I guess Janae ended up over at the neighbor's house. And like I said, we live next door to each other. He lives upstairs from my mother. Well, kind of diagonal, but like, I don't know, the way to explain it is like there's 4 units here in this part of the building, and then there's a second part of the building, there's 4 units there. My mom lived in this corner, and he lived in the corner on the second part of the building. So technically they're still neighbors, because they're still in one big building. It's a building of 8. So anyways, so I guess she ended up at Chester's house. And mind you, while all this is going on, pause the story. While all this is going on, Chester is not saying nothing. He's probably on Facebook having a laugh. I told you, he was playing in my face. Go check that story out. He was playing in my face and talking to all my friends. Could never take him serious. But anyways, so Janae, she was like, yeah, I'm here. What's up? You want to fight? And me, one thing about it, win, lose, or draw, you ain't finna call me out back then. Now you can call me out, and I'm like, girl, I'm not fighting you. You gonna get... But anyways, back then, win, lose, or draw, I don't care if she was going to whip me. I don't care if I was going to whip her. I don't care if we was going to tie out. Baby, we was finna fight. So I was like, all right, here I come. So mind you, at this day, my man's there, my baby daddy, he was there too. So in the midst of me arguing with this girl in her DM, like, okay, let's fight, I'm getting dressed, putting on sweats and putting on a hoodie. My baby daddy walks in the house. He's like, who you finna go fight? Like laughing, like, who you gonna go fight? Like being funny. But little did he know I was really about to go fight somebody. So I'm tying my hoodie up. He said, oh shit, you really about to go fight somebody? I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, well, who you finna go fight? I'm like, this girl, Janae, woo. I'm not telling him the reason why she wants to fight me, because somewhere, somehow, they kind of overlapped each other. But not for long, but I was still like kind of dealing with Chester when I started back dealing with my baby daddy. And mind you, I met Chester before I stopped dealing with my baby daddy. So yeah, but we never linked up to, we was already stopped dealing with each other. But either way you go, they overlapped with each other. So I'm not trying to tell him all the details, I'm trying to spare some of them. So he's like, girl, you was not gonna come outside and fight. I said, yes, I am. So I go peek my head around the corner, see she outside. This girl's standing in front of her baby daddy's car, which is on the edge. It's so hard to explain, but basically there's a parking lot in front of the complex. So her baby daddy's car was parked right there, and she's standing in front of the car, linked on it like this, waiting for me to come outside. So when I peeked and seen her, I said, hold on. I go slide my tennis shoes on. And as I'm coming outside, my baby daddy pushes me back in the house. He's like, you are not finna go back in the house. I'm like, yes, I am. I mean, you're not finna come back. He's like, you was not finna go outside and fight. I'm like, yes, I am. So he pushes me back in the house. He calls my mom like, come get your daughter. She's trying to go outside and blah, blah, blah and fight. You never stopped me from fighting when it was over you. You never came and pushed me in the house when I was about to fight over you. You like that shit. But because it's over another nigga, well, mind you, I'm gonna get there. He doesn't know that yet. But because it's with a woman and it's over another nigga, you want to stop me all of a sudden. Boy, bye. So anyways, he walks over there and they're having like a conversation. Tell me why this man comes back over. Mind you, I don't know what the conversation's for. And when they were talking, I literally yelled out. I was like, don't talk to that bitch. Don't talk to that bitch. Let me run that thing. Let us fight. He's like, go in the house. Go in the house. My mom's like, come in the house. Come in the house. So he comes back in the house. He's like, take your ass in the house. I'm like, no, where's she at? He's like, she went in the house. And I'm like, yeah, scary ass bitch. Like, mind you, she wasn't scared. But let me get there. So he's like, take your ass in the house, because why is you over here trying to fight this girl over her baby daddy? Janae, why is you snitching to my baby daddy and telling him we fighting over a nigga? So he's like, yeah, you're hella weird for that. Why are you trying to fight this girl over her baby daddy and you don't even deal with him? Do you deal with him? You still messing with him? Are you messing with this man? Are you messing with this man? Like, he literally used to scream at me. And I'm like, if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to take off on you. So, long story short, I'm going to have to wrap this up and do a part 2. But long story short, Janae snitched on me to my baby daddy. And she only snitched on me to my baby daddy because Sharon snitched on her that I was messing with their baby daddy. And it was just like a lot of snitching going on. It was a whole lot of going on. But I have an appointment, and I don't know why I will wait till I'm about to go to my appointment to try to do a story time. So I'm so sorry for this mini story time, but I did want to put it back up because y'all was saying, where's the story time? We want to know what happened. That's what happened, y'all. That's what happened. And so I'm going to stop it right here because after this situation, I ended up getting into it with Sharon again. Not over the baby daddy though. This time, well, yeah. Basically, let me go. Me and Sharon ended up getting into it again, and that started a whole war. I fell out with 2 of my friends. I fell out with Judy, and I also fell out with my friend. And we're gonna call her, I'm gonna go ahead and name her in the story, that way I can reference back to this story. I got into it with my friend who happened to be Sharon's cousin. And I'm gonna just name her Juicy. I'm gonna just name her Juicy because she got that body. The body is T. Anyways, that's enough for this story. Thank you so much for watching. If you finished all the way to this story, to the end of the story, drop me a green heart in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not. Follow me on all my socials, which is in the description box below, and get this video a thumbs up. That way it can push it out to others who are watching videos like the ones that you're interested in. That just helps push out my video and my content. That is enough. That's it. That's all. And I'll see you guys in the next story. Bye. Or the next video. I think the next video might be a vlog. Bye.